RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. How you doing, everybody? My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We meet here every Friday evening at 8:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I thank you for all your support. Thank you for being patrons. Thank you for your hanging out in the chat room. I see Ed. I see JD. I see Josie. I see Jim. It's like the magic garden in here. JD wouldn't know about that probably, since he grew up in England. Over here we had it was a children's television show called The Magic Garden, and they would look in a mirror and they'd say, I see Jim and I see Josie, and I always used to sit there and wait for them to say my name, but they never did. This name of mine, Tara, was kind of not as popular, I guess, at the time. So the audio's okay? Okay. Great. How's everything else? We're looking good. We're feeling good. All right, all right, good. Thank you. If you can, please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Check out the Tara Show on the Political Voices Network every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Jim, for doing double duty here on Tarabuster as a moderator and on the Tara Show. So every Tuesday, Thursday at the Political Voices Network, the link is in the description, with myself and my friend Tara Dublin, who we decided to start a show together since people constantly confused us for the same person. It was almost interchangeable. So we said, F it, let's do a show. And it's going pretty well, I think. I like it. And if you would like more of it, you got to support the liberal media. That's just the way it is. It's the same thing here with Tarabuster. I have better cats. I think so. They have more personality, in a way. Because her cats don't ever interact. Rarely. One of them jumped on her lap, I think, in the last show. But my cats, they have no problem. I mean, my cat, Tara Jr., I thought he was behind me, is a producer. So, okay. What else? Thank you, Jim, from APS Radio. Thank you, Charlie, from APS Radio News. Thank you, Jim, too, for being a moderator. But Charlie's from APS Radio News. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling well. Take care of yourself, all that stuff. And if whatever. Just become a patron if you can. It's all, what the hell, man? And subscribe on Substack at the Political Voices Network on Substack. I'm telling you to do a lot of things, I know. But that's how it is. We don't have billionaire benefactors. That's the way we like it, really. I don't like having to e-beg, but we're free from all that bullshit from, what happens on Fox News, really. God, thank you for being here, JD, from England, because I'm just appalled at everything that's going on, and I want to apologize. I hope that you tell your friends over in England that, we're trying here. We hate that fucking baboon, too, and I gotta stop cursing in the first 2 minutes of the show. We hate that baboon, too. Legally and peacefully. We are appalled at what's going on. It's effing embarrassing. It's a disgrace to everything that's decent. And, I don't know what the remedy is for the maggot cancer in our body politic. How do we cut it out? How do we excise it with, legally and peacefully, right? But because I'm sick of them. Look at all they have done to us. It's very difficult to build something, and it's really easy to tear it down, isn't it? You could build, look at like the World Trade Center. How many years did it take to build? And it came down in a matter of minutes. I mean, hours if you want to get technical after one of the planes hit. But that's all it takes. It doesn't take long, or it doesn't take much talent either to be a destroyer. And I don't know if you've been paying attention. I'm sure you have. That's why you're watching the show. But if you haven't, you guys know I hate Elon Musk with the heat of 1,000 blazing suns. He is the reason why, he's the poster child for the fact that billionaires are, they are anathema to freedom and democracy. They are poison. They shouldn't exist. And I hope by the time we get to the other side of this, that the maggots too will understand this. And I hope that the Democrats are getting a clue. Because because the reason that we're in this boat too, and the reason why maggots don't have a clue, is multifaceted. One layer of that is that they live in a lie bubble. And this afternoon I was listening to James O'Brien from LBC, an English broadcast, which is great. I love James O'Brien. And I wish I could call in, but of course the show in my time is on at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 to 9, and I don't have international on my phone. So, but I wanted to call in and say, I'm sorry, because he was wondering what, the callers that were calling from local in England were saying, what is it with America hating Europeans, hating our allies? And it's really disgusting to me. I'm flabbergasted. I just, when I think they, can't get any worse, they surprise me. And they were trying to figure out why, the maggots are so dumb. And I really want to call. I wish I could have called in to tell them it's because of propaganda. That's why. It's because of the Rupert Murdoch poison in our system that this country has been inflicted with. We have suffered under since the Telecommunications Act of 96. It doesn't happen overnight, but they have played the long game here. And Murdoch is 90 years old, something like that. 90, is he 90 or 95? Someone in the chat can look that up, I guess. But the good news there is that, he's a finite being like the rest of us. And when he steps off this mortal coil, Fox News just might not be the swill hole that it is now. He's 94. Wow. That great gutting up morning can happen any time. It could be happening right now, as far as we know. Because Lachlan Murdoch is more aligned, is the spawn that's closely aligned to Rupert Murdoch's poison bile. And he wants to keep that bile going. But he has other kids, and they went to court over the succession of, it really is like the show Succession on HBO, which is a great show, but it's definitely based on the Murdochs. But the thing is that some of these children are estranged from Rupert Murdoch because he's because he's a disgusting, vile parasite, poisoning everything he touches. And so they don't like that. And they're not as far gone as Lachlan. And the sad part is, it's another example why we don't want billionaires and why we have been screwed over by our representatives who haven't had the best interest of democracy at heart. When, for example, Bill Clinton signed the Telecommunications Act of '96, he cut democracy out at its knees. He might as well, have kicked it down a flight of steps and beat it to death. Because, and you can't tell me that they didn't think, that they didn't know what they were doing, which really annoys the hell out of me. Because I remember watching an interview with Bill Clinton, and somebody asked him about it. And of course he said, well, we didn't foresee. We didn't know what the repercussions would be. But, bullshit. Hold on. We'll be right back. This is Unapologetic Liberal Talk. Happy birthday, Mike Crawford on the chat. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and celebrating your birthday. Let me see. What do I got for you? How's this? Happy birthday, Mike. That's a standing ovation. Keep coming back, Mike. It works if you work it. So work it, you're worth it, and live it. And thank you for celebrating your birthday. Thank you for being here. You're an important part of this group. So thank you so much for everything. Happy birthday. All right. Let us know if you need anything. Like a balloon or something. I wish I could do something special. More. You know what I got to do to the show? I really got to hook up some of these other widgets and things. Like when you do a super chat, a widget, like a Frankenstein runs across the screen like Hal has. I know how you have to go about doing things like that, but I haven't done it. I got to do it. Uh-oh. Ray, what are you doing? I don't know if you can hear him. He's meowing into the wind again. Come over here, Ray. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Come on over. All right. So yeah, we're under, and I'm sorry. Let me get back to what we were talking about. I'm very sorry. You're very welcome, Mike. Thank you for all your support. It really does mean a lot because we can't do it without you. Yeah, he's rallying the troops. Exactly, Kathy. He's calling on, he's singing the song of his people, I suppose. So, yeah, it's really embarrassing. I feel awful about what these maggots are doing, just their incredible disrespect towards our allies, our oldest allies, and it all goes down to the fact that they hate America, they hate democracy, and the damage they're doing is going to be really difficult to overcome. And I wonder what's it going to take? And that's one of the questions, if I'm not mistaken, that they were kind of discussing on James O'Brien's show. Will the maggots ever wake up? Why are they so dumb? And the question, the answer is, it's because of propaganda. And they don't get out much. That's the other thing. And one time I was on the show and I was saying that a lot of Americans don't travel. They don't have it, especially if especially a red state. They're not world travelers, and they don't care to be. And then somebody pointed out, which I had completely forgotten, that, well, it's also down to poverty as well. It takes money to travel. It costs money to get a passport. A lot of Americans don't have passports. They never get out of, a tri-state area, for F's sake. But they also don't have the intellectual curiosity. There are a lot of ways you can learn about the world now. You don't have to even leave your house. You just take your phone out of your pocket and you could take a tour all around the world. You can learn things. You could read the classics. You can, there really is no excuse for being ignorant. But they don't have, they're not encouraged to do that by their their cult. And the maggots are, I mean, they're whatever. The conservative mind has, as we know, studies show that they have, they're fear centered. And in fact, there's another, I should have looked this up now, but I wasn't thinking about it earlier. There was a study done for advertisers who wanted to reach right wingers and normal people, right? And they had two different ads, and one ad spoke to the liberals, getting them to, I think it was something about solar energy, actually. It was a fake ad, but it was in a focus group where they said to the liberals, this is good for the environment, this will help people, this will make your community clean, and you'll be contributing to a better world. But to the conservatives, that ad didn't work on them. They didn't give a shit that you're going to help people and make a better world. But so they rephrased it for the conservatives to talk about solar energy as maintaining the beauty of America, right? Supporting the Purple Mountain's majesty, protecting the fruited plain, and making sure that America the Beautiful stays beautiful for your kids. And that message touched them more. And then they, for whatever, in this focus group, they, said that they had a positive reaction to it. And it makes sense to me. And that's why I constantly encourage the Democrats to reclaim patriotism, reframe it for the maggots. Say, patriot, what is a patriot? You can't be timid about it. You can't be afraid to upset these maggots. They're already upset, and they're swimming in lies. And we're going to get to what we could talk about tonight is Elon Musk's and Fox News's attempt to, they're really going overdrive trying to rehab this maggot, this parasite, Elon Musk, and of course Tesla, right? Because there's a big day of action tomorrow against Tesla. Tesla stock is tanking. It's become emblematic. Tesla itself is emblematic of course, Elon Musk, of Nazism. Nobody wants to be associated with a Nazi. So that's why I guess you never saw Steve Jobs doing a Nazi salute. And you think that if he did, I don't think Apple would be as popular. Somebody else would have created a phone like that or whatever, a little computer in your pocket. But there are ways to talk to conservatives if they are reachable. Some of them are not. But to say that, what is a patriot? Patriots leave no one behind. Patriots care about their fellow Americans. There's nothing more patriotic than that. So you have to reframe their view of the world, because it's certainly being reframed constantly over on Fox News and all the other maggot channels, some of which are literally funded by the Kremlin. Yes, exactly. Jim says, my way is not to talk to conservatives. But I really don't. I'm trying to think. Who do I have in my life that's a maggot? Not many people. I'm very lucky like that. But like I said, there's somebody flying a freaking maggot flag right outside my kitchen window. I want to see that shit. And yeah, so some of them are far gone. They are lost causes. So, but when you do encounter them, I do try to, set them straight. Like that guy who, when I got a flat tire and I needed to get my car towed to a tire place or whatever, and I got picked up by a Trump banzee, the guy who was driving the truck. And he immediately, I knew he was a right-winger immediately. I think I told you this, because immediately he started talking about immigrants, okay? Because he said, you want to go to Pet Boys? I said, well, I don't know. I mean, Pet Boys is a service station that's close to here, and it's a chain. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know where to go. I don't know what freaking tire shop is. And he goes, oh, yeah, no one speaks English there. I hate Pet Boys. Nobody speaks English. And I said, that's not true, of course. I said, I go to Pet Boys. I have been to Pet Boys. I'm able to communicate with the people who are there. I speak English. I don't speak any other language. And then on the way, I think I was telling you guys, he said, because my car is a hybrid electric. And I said, yeah, he goes, you like those electrics? I said, I love it. In fact, I'll never buy a gas car again. I haven't been to the gas station in over 9 months. It's great. Except, that's why I have the hybrid, because, the infrastructure isn't quite there yet. And it won't be there for a long time now, thanks to these maggots, because they're rolling everything back. That's how disgusting they are. Do you know, like, for example, in federal facilities, that they had electric charging stations for electric vehicles already set up, already ready for anybody to use, and these dirtbags removed them. They unplugged them all. Monsters. Aren't, I mean, that's what we're dealing with, JD, over here. These horror shows. And it's a fire hose of horrors. Just petty, little, small, incompetent, unfit wastes of human DNA. Each one worse than the other. They have no morality. They have no integrity. They have no dignity. Yet, here we are. What does that say about the people that vote for them? They're lost. They're lost in a swill of propaganda. But to finish the story for those who didn't hear it or whatever. But so he said to me, because I said, it's the infrastructure's not quite there yet, but we'll get there, because they're trying to. That was when Joe Biden was in office. They were trying to create an electric infrastructure across the country, like the interstate highway system, which is what you would need as a freaking modern society, because the whole world is doing it, but we'll be stuck in the dark ages. This is the same people, I'm sure, that stood in the way of everything else that connects the country. When they wanted to connect the country, the interstate highway system, you name it. If you can't make a buck, then maggots, the modern incarnation of the conservative, they were teabaggers, Republicans, the maggots of today. They don't want, they set this country up for failure. That's what they're doing. There's nothing. They're not adding anything to America. They are the greatest. So this is, what we're under is the greatest assault on America that we have ever experienced. But so this guy said, what did he say? Oh, you know what Biden said? And I said, what? I was like rolling my eyes. But what did he say? He said, if you can't afford an electric vehicle, too bad. Right? And I said, oh, no, he didn't. And he goes, yeah, I heard it. I heard it on the news. And I said, what news? What station? And he said, I heard it on Fox and Friends. That's a pretty good source. And I said, well, they had to pay. They would just find the largest judgment in American history for lying to its viewers. And then we rolled up to the tire place. And as I was saying my goodbyes, I gave the guy a tip, because that's what I do. And he goes, Trump 2024? And I said, not in a million years. But I knew he was a maggot from the jump, because he's racist right out of the gate. And they kind of do that. They throw those nuggets out there to see if you will bite. Because if you're white, they just assume, I suppose. Well, I guess you can't assume here in New York, but I guess that's why. Because if I was like, yeah, I hate them. They don't speak English. Everybody sucks. Everybody's stupid. Fuck them all. They all fucking deport them. They all blow. They suck. Make America great. Like he wanted to test me to see where I was on the maggot scale. And I was completely not even on it. But anyway, that's what I was. Got to be nice to the guy, and but I hope I gave him a piece of information, because I immediately looked it up when he was gone, and I was waiting for my car, and I looked up did Joe Biden say that if you can't afford an electric vehicle, too bad, and it's a complete lie. Complete effing lie. And that's all they have. So just like Elon Musk, and now we gotta understand this is natural course of events. What they're doing, they are taking this unelected South African parasite sociopath who is the poster child for why billionaires shouldn't exist, and they have inserted him into the government illegally, unconstitutionally. They're losing court cases wherever they are being heard, but they're continuing on with their destruction. They've been ordered in numerous cases to stop their destruction, to, for example, forced to hire people back, and then the people go back to the office, and there's no desk, there's no chairs, there's no computers anymore. It's like we're under attack by vandals and barbarians. That's what what's happening, in the guise of our savior, which maggots are all they are all in on that bullshit. And we did the Elon Musk video the other day. We were playing it on the last show. Oh my God. Which I wrote an article about it, but it didn't. Maybe I hope to post it tomorrow. I know it's a little late, but on the Political Voices Substack. So please, support the Political Voices, everything, subscribe and all that shit. And I was gonna post our, the song, just the clip from Tarabuster, what we did with the song and the hat and all that. So I will post it along with an article about Elon Musk and this song that is proof, basically. The song is proof that Republicans are incapable of functioning in democracy. It is another example of their authoritarian follower personality. And it's an example of how much they hate America. You gotta be really pathetic to sing a song of to a billionaire who is rich on the backs of the American people. We bailed out his company. His company would have went bankrupt, and I wish it did. But we bailed him out to, I think it was almost $500 million we gave him to save his fucking company. And then the ingrate, of course, it's never enough for sociopaths and parasites. And he thanks the American people by opening up a spigot for Nazis, for misinformation, for poisoning the minds of the very small brains of the maggots. and turning them against the very country that they can only pretend to love, the very system of government that they can only pretend to love. And he doesn't, and he's got the balls. I don't want to, no, he doesn't have balls. He's got a botched penis extension, we know. And of course, that's true, by the way. Not that I know firsthand, but Elon Musk is very litigious. Okay? I can't wait. Hold on. I'm trying to find this. And if somebody wrote on Twitter, on a social media platform, some rapper wrote about Elon Musk's botched penis extension surgery, and he never, why wouldn't he sue him? You know why? Because there'd be discovery, right? I mean, Elon Musk, he's like Trump, always threatening to sue, but he does sue. And if this person, he's right now saying that he's going to sue people that call him a Nazi. The free speech absolutist wants to sue people for calling him what he is. He speaks to Nazis. He encourages Nazis. He rallies with Nazis. He can't help but salute like a Nazi. He can't help. Like, we're all supposed to be gaslit. That's what they understand. That's all they know is gaslighting. The pathological lies that the maggots are simply used to, I guess, for now, only because it validates their hate. It validates their hate for America. And when I say hate for America, I'm not talking about the flags and the eagles and the stars. They love that shit. Like a baby, likes the colors and the fireworks. Boom, boom. Like the emoji, fist emoji, boom, boom emoji. Boom, boom, right? I mean, what an embarrassment of morons. This cabinet of freaks and curiosities. Boom, boom. I'm a big boy. I made a boom, boom. Pete Hegseth. Oh my God. These people are just disgusting. But the maggots are worse because they vote for it, because they're propagandized. And they will consume it because, challenging them to evolve. And, hey, you don't have to be a genius. Just, don't be a dick. Right? Leave people alone. You don't have to understand, right, somebody else's life. Just mind your own damn business. How bad is that? But they can't do it. Maggots have been conditioned to hate their fellow American, hate their fellow humans, hate democracy. We saw, I think, on the Tara show, when I played that clip of Perjury Trader Green. Oh, no, I think I had to play it off the screen. Or if I did I have it? I don't remember. Yeah, of Perjury Trader Green yelling at the reporter from the UK. Yeah, wait, where are you from? Putting her fucking fist in her face, her stupid stunted hand in her face that she jerks off that asshole from OAN with, and probably all those other men that she committed serial adultery. I can't talk. Serial adultery with at the gym. That's what Perjury Trader Green was known for. They're such big Christians, the Republicans, aren't they? Such Christians. I fucking hate them. I wish, if only. She put her hand in front of the woman's face. The rudeness, the embarrassment. And I gotta ask, this is the thing. That's why the American people, the normal American people, we're in big trouble, of course, because the maggots, they got 31% of the voting population. It's not half the country, not by any stretch. But It's like a quarter of the, or not, excuse me, 1/3 of the country, pretty much, is, and I'm talking about the voting population, because only 60% of the voting population came out to vote in the election. The maggots won 31% in a squeaker. Harris won 30 something percent, right? It just lost by the slimmest margin in decades. Trump did not win the popular vote. I don't care how many times they say it. The corporate media says it. He lost the popular vote. More people voted against him than for him. So let's remember that. And but the problem is that the problem really does come down to propaganda, guys. And if I'm wrong, I am open to an enlightened discussion. Tell me, what point am I missing here? Because all I see, here's where I'm coming from. That's why I'm always up your butts about becoming patrons, supporting the liberal media. That's it, because we're it. We are it. And I know for a fact I'm completely on social media, especially, on Twitter. I'm only on Twitter to grab clips and to see what the maggots are saying. But they're being, suppressed. We're being suppressed on Facebook. Of course, yes, we are. It's been happening for a long time. It's been happening for years, even before, because the billionaires fund the message because they get it. Fascists get it. They don't got anything in reality to boast about. They don't have Social Security. They don't have Medicare. They don't have the 8-hour workday. They don't have a policy portfolio that actually created the middle class. So all they have is propaganda. So this is the problem. And we got half the country is listening to Fox News. I mean, if you go to like when I went to West Virginia for the Horn In with Robyn, hopefully we can do that again, where we all met in person and had a little get together. It was very lovely. And I wish Mike would do another one, Mike Malloy. That was amazing. Anyway, excuse me, losing my voice. But when I was in West Virginia, I'm sure Robyn could simply, validate this because she lives there. Anywhere you go, Fox News is on. You go to a gas station, you could pull up to get gas and walk into, get a goddamn Slurpee, and Fox News is on the monitor behind the counter. Anywhere you go, went to a diner, Fox News is on in the corner. It's ridiculous. But it's like the telescreens. And I don't know. I have a fascination with North Korea, and I've watched a lot of documentaries about North Korea. It's terrifying. It reminds me of that. You go to North Korea, it's everywhere. There's a radio in every house. It's a government radio that you cannot turn off in every house. You can lower it, but you can't completely reduce the volume. So that's what it reminds me of, Fox News. So you have half the American people are completely consumed with lies. So, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Who the fuck voted for that? They believed that. They believed it. That whole story came about because of some dumb bitch, a neighbor of somebody, said that her neighbors ate her cat who was hiding in the basement. Probably because she was embarrassed that her owner was a maggot. Cats have a sense of self-respect. But this is the country that we're living. I mean, we, when you look at what's her face, and I know you don't want to, but Perjury Trader Green yelling at the English reporter, and Can anybody imagine her yelling like that at a reporter from Russia? I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Perjury Trader Greene, is a frequent feature on Russian state television. She's one of theirs. They love her. It's really she should be embarrassed, right? You would think. If somebody took my clips, let's say, and played them on Russian state television and said, "Way to go, gal," I'd really have to think about what the hell I was doing. Right? If you're a patriot and the world's most disgusting dictators who hate America, who've been attacking America for as long as we've been alive, this disgusting Putin tyrant who kills, you want to talk about gassing his own people? Remember how we had to hear about that? Oh, Saddam gassed his own people, like they gave a shit. Talk about Putin, what he does to his own people. They live in poverty while he sucks up all the wealth, just like and divvies it out to his oligarch pals, like in the good old days that the founders rebelled against. You know, the rich run and own everything, and the king gets to pick who's on the, who's a duke and who gets a castle, and everybody else is out there fighting over the scraps, fighting each other amongst each other over the scraps. Along every fissure of disunity, of every line of difference, Protestant and Catholic, right? Any difference, they tickle those funny bones. They tickle those bigoted funny bones. Keep the people at each other's throats, and then you tell them in church and such, well, you can't rebel against your natural lord because they were there because God, you would be rebelling against God. So that everything that the maggots are doing, everything that the Republicans are doing, and I've been saying this for years, that they are whittling away at the pillars of democracy. Their attacks on the wall of separation between church and state. Oh, godless. Liberals, you're all godless. No, we're patriots. That's why I'm so sick of Democrats not getting a clue. Listen to my show, for F's sake. Take these talking points. When they say you're godless, like what pissed me off, remember what we were watching? Oh, yeah, it was when that Martin O'Malley, thank God he didn't become the DNC chair, was being attacked by Nancy Mace. Right? Oh, my God. And Perjury Trader Greene. Perjury Trader Greene asked him, "Do you believe in God? Do you worship God?" And he was like, "Of course I worship God. I believe in God." And what the fuck kind of shit is that? What he should have said is that that is none of your business. And because as your question in itself, I take issue with your question, given that it says right in the Constitution that there are no religious tests for office. So why you're asking me if I believe in God is an affront to this country. It's an affront to patriotism. It's an affront to everyone who ever fought, bled, and died for this country. Why don't you turn it around on them? But the Democrats are constantly falling into their traps. Oh, I believe in God too. I'm just as religious as you. Well, you could be religious, but that's not what this country is supposed to be. So, but the maggots don't know this. Some of them they think, for all the years that the maggots, that the Republicans have been saying, oh yes, America is founded on Judeo-Christian values. Where's the pushback from the Democrats? No, that's not true. The country was founded on Enlightenment values. I mean, what is wrong with the actual truth, Democrats? Because of their weakness, because of their inability to stand up to the Republican anything, they have been allowed to redefine the country, to set the ground rules in general, how we fight, how we play this game. And I don't even know if the Democrats know how to play the game, for Christ's sakes. Like the abortion thing. That's why I say it. Every time somebody says abortion, I bring it up, hoping and praying that the Democrats will get a clue. And they say, why are you calling them pro-life? Why are you calling them by what they want to be called? They don't call you pro-choice. They call you baby killers, right? So that's what they do. They don't call, they don't play like that. So why don't you call them? They're not, they're pro-death. They're pro-birth. They're not pro-life. I wish. If only. For fuck's sake. I'm trying not to curse. So I went frick. If only they were pro-life. Why the Democrats don't say, well, if you're pro-life, I don't know why you vote Republican, because the abortion rate goes up under Republican policies, and here's a goddamn chart. But it won't happen because I don't know why. I don't know why. Can somebody please explain it to me? What the hell is what's wrong with the Democrats? Like, even today, not every day, but I've called my Democratic reps. I've called the DNC. You got to leave messages because you're not a billionaire, so they don't really get. Who knows if they even hear them? And I'm like, why are you calling this fake Department of Government Efficiency the Department of Government Efficiency? Why? I want to bang my head against the wall when I hear this from Democrats. They say, well, Doge is doing this and Doge is doing that. Why are you validating it? You don't call it Doge. If you got to call it Doge, call it fake Doge. Call it the illegal and unconstitutional fake Department of Government Efficiency, or the illegal and unconstitutional fake Department of Gazillionaire Extortion, or greed and what's the other one? Greed and I had at the top of my head. Greed and somebody will give me the word. Yeah, it's like not just an embezzlement. Yes, greed and embezzlement. Why are you calling it Doge? It's really annoying. Am I wrong here? Can somebody tell me? Am I missing the mark here? Because what I see is that the maggots they don't. Okay, because here's the thing. They're not. People, they're not getting these ideas on their own. That's why we always got to be batted around like, we're playing with goddamn yarn. Like, we're the yarn. We got to get batted around by these Republicans from one faux rage, fake mania to another. And the Republicans, the dumbasses, the maggots, they dive right in. They go right along. We got to get dragged as we go for this ride against our will, from death panels to everything that we have had to endure from these morons. Where are they getting this shit from? They're not getting it from their own stupid lives. It's not happening. They're not all of a sudden all rising up and being like, I'm taxed enough already. They're getting it from the propaganda mills that are coordinated. And that whole stupid Tea Party. This is the other thing. Okay, I know I keep saying this is the other thing. And thank you, Dad. What is that? WTF, Dad Shoes. Nice to see you. And I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck. The other thing. This is the other thing. What was the other thing? I was talking about the tea baggers. Oh yes, the corporate media is the problem. Okay? I know this is the theme of every Tarabuster show, but it's the truth. Think about even just, let's unpack the taxed enough already bullshit. Right? That started with that guy in front of, at the stock exchange when we were on the verge of the second near Republican Great Depression in 100 years. And Obama was trying to pass the American Rescue Plan to save this country from yet another Republican manufactured crisis. And in my opinion, what he, of course, betrayed the working people of the country by bailing out the banks instead of the homeowners who were underwater. He had a choice. He could have done either. That was his complete choice. But you see, Obama was probably the best Republican president we've had in my lifetime. For real. Because he was not a liberal in any sense of the word. And I have to admit, like everybody else, he was like a Rorschach test for the country. We all projected our whatever's on him, our hopes, our dreams, our fears. Of course, the Republicans projected their fears and their racisms, their manias on him. But I was hoping he would be like the new FDR. That was my damage. I thought, wow, this is going to be great. But he was in no way a liberal. Okay? So, and he wasn't. If he was, he would have bailed out the homeowners. There's like a hair in my eye. I don't know where it's coming from. So, and it's bothering me. So, yeah, and that, we can go down that memory lane, but I won't go far down there, but that's what happened. And what's that guy? What was his name? Signorelli? Somebody on the chat will remember when he was on the floor of the stock exchange. Let me look this up while that music plays. This is Tarabuster. Be right back. And there was supposedly some spontaneous eruption from this guy when he was on CNBC. And he was like, Mr. President, are you listening? Who wants to? And he was turning around to all the day traders and saying, who wants to pay for somebody else's mortgage? You want to pay for your neighbor's mortgage? Because they, as usual, attack the American people. They get the American people angry at the other Americans, other working people, instead of putting their anger where it belongs. But it's bullshit. It was a completely manufactured right out of the Koch brothers, right out of the Heritage Foundation, just like Project 2025. They put this whole fucking thing together, taxed enough already. That's why all of a sudden then these morons all converged in Washington, D.C. like it was a grassroots movement. It wasn't. They were all bussed there with Koch brother buses that were funded by billionaires. You useless idiots. But that's what happened then. And so that's what I'm trying to say is, these useless idiots that are the albatrosses around our national neck, where are they coming up with the shit? If you don't push back, if you don't give them the facts, and I know that Trump has completely devalued truth in this country. It's not worth a freaking Trump University degree anymore in this country. They have been conditioned to hate the only profession enshrined in the Constitution as being absolutely essential for a functioning democracy, and that's, of course, the press. So, even there, why the Democrats don't point that out. You know, they assume that the American people, that these morons who don't get out much, you know, and if they go on the internet, they're not taking a tour of Pompeii. They're falling into a Q hole like Perjury Trader Green. You know, why don't they inform the American people, push back on it? It's so irritating. And maybe, you know why? Actually, now I'm thinking about it too. Of course, because it's partly because you can't serve two masters. So the Democrats are going to have to be the party of the people, or they're going to have to be the party of Wall Street. Like when Hillary Clinton said, I want to be, you want to be the party of Main Street or Wall Street? Or the president for Main Street or Wall Street? And she said, I'd like to be the president for both. And Bernie said, no, I would like to be the president for the working people. Yeah, because Wall Street and Main Street don't rise and fall together, Obama. That's what he'd like to say all the time. Main Street is suffering while Wall Street's just fine. Don't worry about it. But, okay, I didn't mean to go down that road. What I'm trying to say, as I say every show, the corporate media is why we're in this mess. There's been studies that trace the division in the country to the corporate media. Of course, you're not going to hear that on the corporate media. They're not going to blame themselves. They're not going to point it out, which is another thing that drives me up a wall when I listen or hear, you know, I'm watching the corporate media and they're like, the American people are so divided. They lament and they ponder, what could this be? Why? Because of the corporate goddamn media. Because of the consolidation of media and the division into silos of information. That's why. You don't got to be, you know, you don't need a communications degree, a master's in communications like me to know that. It's, you know, you just got to know people. Human beings are storytellers. They're not getting this information. They're not getting it on their own. It's not coming from their life experience. They're watching it on Fox News. You know, there are people, they watch Fox News. They don't get out of their little meth lab hovels. And they think Portland is burned to the ground. They think that Black Lives Matter movement was this terrorist group that went around burning cities to the ground. They think that. And, oh yeah, actually, geez, I'm never going to get to this Musk thing, maybe. I don't know. I hate Elon Musk, in case you haven't picked up on that. I think about the bulk of all the articles I've written so far at the Political Voices Substack are about Musk. Because I just can't stand him. And I know, I hope that, I don't, it's like Trump. I don't understand how anybody likes him. Well, you can't see right through his grift. So, where is it? Oh, yeah, because I got another article from Kate Petrini, who is Mike Malloy's education correspondent, and also the Tarabuster education correspondent. I'm adopting her. Whether she likes it or not. I'm sure she'd be fine with it. But she sent me another article about, that was written, it was in the New York Times opinion section, written by 4 conservatives. David Brooks, Ross Douthat, David French and Brett Stevens, I can't take. I mean, that goes to show you. Like, Brett Stevens having a job at the New York Times, writing for the New York Times. That's how he makes a living, writing. I don't get it. It's another example of how fucked we are, because this person adds nothing to the conversation. He brings nothing to the table. He is a lick spittle that wraps his sycophancy in reasons, thoughts, or reason. Just like a conservative. I'm just a conservative intellectual making excuses for a convicted felon, tax cheating, draft dodging, con man, rapist, traitor. Okay, but I won't go through the whole article, but because it's rather long, and unfortunately the comment section was closed when I read it. But let's see if I can get just one or two paragraphs that sum it up. Hold on. Uh-oh, I'm getting a beach ball. Don't do that to me, Ecam. Don't do it. All right, let's move that over there. Let's move that over here. Beep bop boo da boop. Beep bop boo da boop. Okay. So, let's see. David Brett Ross. Donald Trump is the only president in our lifetimes who's had a net negative job approval rating his first 100 days in office. Trump also has the largest gap in approval ratings in 80 years. Uh-oh, here's the music. This is a break, but we will be right back. This is Tara Devlin from Tarabuster. Become a patron now. And you can also give the show a good review on iTunes. That helps. And tell your friends, whatever. Come to the Tara show. It's a good show. Oh, shit. Here's Francis. You surprised me, Francis. What the hell, man? Let's see. Trump has the largest gap in approval ratings. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is David Brooks. I start with the world we've been living in for the last decade or so. According to an Ipsos survey last year, 59% of Americans think our country is in decline. 60% believe the system is broken. 69% believe the political and economic elite don't care about hard-working people. If those are your priors, then you're going to be happy with a president who wields a wrecking ball. And, let's see. Brooks says, I'd add another phrase, brokenism. This is a belief system popularized by Elena Newhouse in Tablet Magazine. See, this is the intellectualism. It's the idea that everything is broken and we need to burn it down. I'm just trying to find where they're just... So hold on a second. In addition to the brokeism that David talks about, this is David French, there's a strong undercurrent of raw animosity in our politics. So Republicans want a disruptive president. Who's being disrupted really matters. Who is being disrupted? And come on, where the fuck is it? Because I'm trying to find the part where, because basically, here we go. It's important. Here we go. Here's another one. Here's Brett Stevens. I should have just scrolled right to him because he's the worst. So, energy in the... Brett Stevens says, Alexander Hamilton supplied one part, and his is his intellectualism, one part of the answer in Federalist number 70. Energy in the executive is the leading character in the definition of a good government. So leave to one side questions about what Trump is doing. What most Americans notice is that Trump is doing: bombing the Houthis, tariffing our neighbors, strong-arming President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, threatening Hamas, abolishing USAID. He's the guy supporters and opponents alike struggle to keep pace with. while he grips their attention. A second part is, and this is especially true, important for Trump critics like me, he says, to acknowledge, is that at least some of what he's doing is succeeding. It's important that we finally have gained control of our southern border, proving, if nothing else, that we aren't helpless in the face of these vast migratory flows. Getting rid of DEI programs that had become pervasive, a pervasive system of racial gerrymandering, is, by my light, another achievement. You hearing this shit? Demanding that Columbia University ban face-covering masks and enforce a meaningful discipline on menacing and disruptive pro-Palestinian protesters in exchange for continued government funding strikes me as a good conclusion. And I really don't think the nation will miss the Department of Education when it's gone. Okay? And what I don't want to go into this for an hour or so, but what struck me about, it goes on like that, was what struck me about these so-called conservative intellectuals was that they are just as wedded to the bullshit as the average Joe maggot. DEI programs that are he ended DEI programs that are a pervasive system of racial gerrymandering. He regained control of the southern border, which is such bullshit. Biggest fucking piece of bullshit. Right out of Trump's lie hole. We know, oh yeah, the southern border we have a problem, but it's not like Trump all of a sudden, you notice how now all of a sudden we don't hear much about it. But that's because of everything else that's going on too. But, he's not, as he's doing right now, he's not Biden deported more people. And that's just the number. That's why Trump is mad. But it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter. Banning face-covering masks? Who the fuck are these people? What if you got to wear a mask? What if you're sick? You don't want to catch, or you have you're immunocompromised. Banning what? Banning free speech too. Saying menacing and disruptive pro-Palestinian protesters? What the fuck? Does he have anything that doesn't come right out of Trump's lie hole? But this is what we're dealing with. That's your intellectual. And what I noticed was that's the entire article, was these fake conservative intellectuals, supposed intellectuals. I guess they call themselves intellectuals, or they're allowed to, because they say in Federalist number 70, or they'll throw a quote in from some 16th century jurist. But this one commenter sums it up. He writes, with all due respect, all of you seem to omit the relentless propaganda flowing from the right-wing media, whether it's on Newsmax or Fox. A profusion of misinformation, extremism, and outright lies flow to Trump supporters and is billed as true information. Add to that the corrosive effect of social media on platforms such as X. I'm jumping. I'm making an X with my body. I'm Elon Musk. Oh God, I hate him. Making an X. Oh, I don't call it X. It's Twitter. And you have an X. So he says the corrosive effect of social media on such platforms like Twitter, and you have an echo chamber of reinforcement and demonization of anyone who disagrees. Only when economic and social policies truly hurt his constituents will his support by the base of the Republican Party erode. 100%. And then the editor, the deputy opinion editor, wrote back, because that comment went right to the top. It got the most recommends. So he writes, Deputy opinion editor Patrick Healy writes, "Thanks for writing. I agree that the media ecosystem on the right is hugely influential with conservative Americans, but it is interesting that many of these voters were lukewarm or skeptical of Trump in the first term, even though Fox hosts like Hannity and Carlson were largely in Trump's corners." Who said this shit? See, it's just more, they were lukewarm. What the problem is, they want to vote for a black lady. That's it. And the relentless, incessant propaganda all through Joe Biden's presidency. Never, I blame the Democrats for that too, because they should have had Harris out there at every factory opening, ribbon cutting, especially in Republican districts, in Perjury Trader Green's district, at the ribbon cutting where they're expanding the solar panel factory, when these maggots drove to work every day thanks to jobs created by Joe Biden. They should have been met with a billboard outside the parking lot gate saying, your job brought to you by Joe Biden. But they didn't do it. They were too busy trying to be bipartisan. Republicans, take back your party. Oh, this is bipartisan. Republican. And they did at times, like Joe Biden would point out, or the White House media, whoever they were, their response team would point out that the maggots were taking the House members, Boebert, Perjury Trader Green, were taking credit for bills, for policies, for things that were happening because of the policies that these maggots were voting against. But it just wasn't enough. You have to be unapologetic. You have to inundate them, with the truth. And the other thing is, I still don't understand why the Democrats don't constantly, as Trump goes fake news, why the Democrats don't actually use the truth. Well, Fox News, studies show, goes back years. Fox News makes its viewers less informed than people who watch no news at all. They're fined. Hold on. Be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Fox News makes its viewers less informed than those who watch no news at all. What's so hard about repeating that? That Fox News was hit with the largest judgment in American history for lying to its viewers / victims. That right-wing influencers are literally being funded by the Kremlin. Why? Why won't you say that? Right? No, they were like, a lot of Republicans liked it too. See, this was a bipartisan bill. We got a Republican to vote for it. So this was bipartisan. They were always touting it. Okay, I'll get off that. I'm sorry. Am I wrong, though? Am I wrong? I was wrong once in 1972, but it's... So you can tell me, is this the second time? I could take it. Let me know. Look, I look so tired. I just got a glimpse of myself. I'm looking exhausted. Where is that stupid video of that piece of dirt? Let me see. Oh, yeah, so let's play some of the Fox News propaganda. Fox and Friends had, because Musk was on Bret Baier. Of course, we could play Bret Baier's interview with Harris, the way he attacked her, interrupted her, constantly, played the tough guy with her. I guess they had boom, boom, fist emoji, American flag. That's how they treat the vice president of the United States when she's a woman and actually doing something for the people that are consuming the Fox News swill. That's the other thing. I'm just so sick of. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back a little bit. Why the Democrats don't point out that, like when Mitch McConnell is retiring, that he should be ashamed. I mean, they don't point out how these red states are the poverty states, the poor education states, the poor healthcare states. That the only thing that keep half of these people going are policies brought to them by Democrats that they constantly vote against. I just can't take it. Why don't you point out that how dare Mitch McConnell? He should retire in shame. He should be ashamed of himself for all the years he sat, so-called representing his constituents. Tennessee has slunk further and further down the scale of poverty. They've gotten worse. Health is worse. I mean, addiction is up. It's absolutely gross. But that's what they do, But I guess the bathrooms, there's no trans people in the bathroom. Or so they think. Fucking morons. Okay. So Fox and Friends. So Elon Musk is a piece of wasted human DNA. He is a parasite. The reason that billionaires need to be taxed, and especially him, he needs to be stripped of his ill-gotten gains and deported to The Hague to stand trial for his crimes against humanity. So, and that day will come. It will come. But he's going after Social Security in the fake Department of Gazillionaire Embezzlement. He illegal and unconstitutionally attacking our system of government that he fucking hates. Make no mistake, he's a Nazi. I don't know. Have you ever accidentally you've been so excited? I'm sure in your life you've been very excited about things. Have you ever given a Nazi salute? You were so excited you couldn't contain yourself and given a Nazi salute? Or you found yourself accidentally speaking to Nazis and telling them not to be ashamed of the Holocaust? Or, just don't be ashamed. Throw off the old shackles of shame about, a war of aggression and systemic genocide. Just don't, be shy. Those days are over. Now we're going on to bigger and better things. Now we're going to turn the whole world, Hitler's dream, 1,000-year Reich. I don't know. I've been excited in different parts of my life, jumped up and down. Whee! I'm so happy. But I've never given a Nazi salute by mistake. Right? Let's see. Right here. Have you ever done that by mistake? Come on. What the hell? You can. The maggots make every excuse, just like what we're going to see on Fox News. Oh, he was saying, my heart goes out to you. You fucking morons. They forget that not everybody is as dumb as the people that vote for them. So Elon Musk is a parasite. Not everybody hates him, but a lot of people hate him. His popularity is very low. his approval rating, people don't want him in our body politic. No one wants this filthy, not no one, I mean the fascists, the Nazis want him there, but his approval rating and what they're doing in the fake Department of Gazillionaire embezzlement, the majority of Americans disapprove of what he's doing, and they don't want him there. But so Fox News, tomorrow's the day of action against Tesla. Because here's the thing, guys. If we get the Tesla stock price down to $70, there will be a margin call on that stock. That's what I heard. I might have to do some research on that. But it does sound reasonable, right? We got to get it low, because that's where he has most of his wealth comes from, and there will be a margin call, and he will be up a creek. So, and let's see how popular he is then. So, Fox News is really working overtime because they're salivating. There's blood in the water. They want to destroy America. They see the oligarchy. They see that shining city on a hill, that oligarchy shining on the hill. And they want their filthy, fascist, greed-centered gullets on our Social Security. They've been salivating over it since FDR signed it into law. Even though Social Security keeps millions of Americans out of poverty. Before Social Security, there were 30,000 homeless people living on the streets of the Bowery. The primary cause of death for the elderly before Social Security was malnutrition all year round and hypothermia in the winter. These bastards. I hate them all. Legally and peacefully. Come on. I'm getting a beach ball.
Here we go. Elon Musk sat down for an exclusive interview alongside 7 members of the Doge team, giving a behind-the-scenes look, a lift of the curtain up.
Where's Big Balls?
President.
Where's the fucking incel? Where's the 19-year-old, the 18-year-old? Is any of these people 18 and 19? No, these are all fucking plants. This is all an attempt to get the dumb Fox News viewers to consistently, to vote for their own demise. To be like, okay, cool, cheer their own demise. Uh-oh. We're going to lose the Progressive Voices audience in a few minutes. So if you are on the Progressive Voices channel, I know it's annoying that Progressive Voices does this, only doesn't play the whole damn show. But you can join us over at youtube.com/cforchannel/Tarabuster to watch the whole show, the end of the show. No, but support Progressive Voices too. But you can also subscribe on iTunes and SoundCloud for the entire audio version of the podcast. And I suggest you do, because we're going to eviscerate this unelected South African sociopath parasite who is the poster child for why billionaires shouldn't exist and why they are anathema to freedom, decency, dignity, democracy. We will win. Thank you, guys. My name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Check out the Tara Show on the Political Voices Network. Oh, I thought it was going to end there. Tuesday and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself and Tara Dublin. See you soon. I don't know. You do what you can in this world, right? All right, before I keep going, I want to say thank you, Jim, for your super chat. I didn't even say that earlier, and that sucks. I'm sorry for the late thank yous. Happy birthday, Mike Crawford. That's Jim's super chat. Happy birthday again, Mike. Thank you for hanging out. I hope are you still here, Mike? I hope. Maybe we'll sing a happy birthday later. I don't know. I'm just saying. And thank you, Ed the Second, for your super chat. No need to minimize. Thank you. It's great. Because Ed wrote, it's not much, but hey, it's more than most. Your support is amazing. Thank you. And I'm talking to everyone. Some people can't financially contribute. That's fine. I'm glad you're here. We're in this together. Do what you can. Tell your friends. Things like that. I know. Everywhere you go, you hear this. It's the burden of the liberal media. Because we're on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy. I mean, all of that. If I were a sellout, if I hated America, I'd just take those fat checks from the Kremlin. I'd get a billionaire benefactor. That's the truth. And thank you, Jeffrey Giraffe, for your super chat. Strike and strike and strike until we have victory. All right, let's keep going with these monstrosities.
Trump's cost-cutting department.
The team consists of a wide range of experts, including a former rocket scientist.
Oh, my God. I didn't mean to hit that.
Airbnb.
The Doe's seen all.
Here we go. Elon Musk sat down for an exclusive interview alongside 7 members of the Doe's team, giving a behind-the-scenes look, a lift of the curtain up of President Trump's cost-cutting department.
A lift of the curtain up. Is that what he said? In President Trump's cost-cutting department. Fuck you. It's not a cost-cutting department. It's a gazillionaire embezzlement team. Show your work. That's the thing. This is an illegal grab, a smash and grab of everything that traitor, that goddamn convicted felon con man said that he had nothing to do with. This is Project 2025. Destroy America, turn it in, destroy the general welfare, destroy any department, because, you know what it is? Because all of the bureaucracy of democracy is there to serve the people. And it gets in the way of billionaires having it all. Treating us like shit. Pouring their poisons into our public commons. You see everything they're doing. From rolling back child labor laws, all the destruction they're creating. The Department of Education, they're fucking their own constituents over. The Department of Education doesn't set the standards, doesn't tell local communities what the school curriculum is. The Department of Education helps disabled kids. It makes sure that everyone has, access to education. But your local school boards are the ones who, set the standards, that come up with the curriculum. But, wait, fuck around, find out, maggots. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, JD, for your PayPal donation. That's also available, guys. Maybe more when I know how the benefits work out. What benefits? What are you talking about? What you talking about, kid? How the benefits work out? What you talking about? What benefits? Do you want a mug? A Tarabuster benefit? Is that what you mean? You got all you got to do is, if you're a supporter of the show, send me an email at tarabustermedia@gmail.com. If I haven't already, because I want to give you guys some merch and shit, some perks. And give me your address, because I don't have your address on what do you call it? On the Patreon. It doesn't give me addresses. And tell me, I want a mug, mother effer. You can even say it like that. Then I'll give you one. If you want or let me know. Maybe I misinterpret. I don't know. JD, thank you. You're the best. You really are. I'm impressed. What time is it over there in England? It's like late, isn't it? I have it on my phone too, actually. I have my Dublin time on my phone. It's 2 a.m. in Dublin. It is also 2 a.m. 2:11 in London. You're up late. No mug. Okay, kid. JD doesn't want a mug. You're my witnesses, guys. Or go on the Tarabuster merch site. Merch. I can't talk. If you want, I can send you a t-shirt or something. I should really update that merch too. You see what I'm saying? I have a lot of fucking shit to do. It's a lot of work. Now with more shows to do, and I'm not complaining. Yes, it's 2:11 in London.
The team consists of a wide range of experts, including a former rocket scientist.
Why is that doing that?
It consists of engineers and all have the same goal to slash wasteful government spending.
You hear this propaganda? It consists of really smart people, like a rocket scientist. What the fuck does a rocket scientist know about accounting and government? Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? These people are children. That's why they're unfit. They really are. I love you too, JD. I love you too. I love everybody here. I love you too, JD. I'm coming to your house one day. I'm gonna flee this country, and you're gonna be like, bing bong. The bell's gonna ring. I'll be like, hi. I'm here with 4 cats and a guinea pig. You got just, you got an attic to hide in. So, what was I? Wait, hold on a second. This is another example how, of course, Fox News is really like pounding the propaganda hard, but what does that have to do? One guy's a rocket scientist. I mean, how stupid do you have to be impressed by that? Yeah, okay, he's a rocket scientist. Go fucking build rockets. You're not an expert in government efficiency, for Christ's sakes. What do you know? Just because, you're a billionaire. See, that's why the Republicans, just like that stupid Elon Musk song, all of this proves that they're not fit to hold leadership positions in this country, in a modern democracy. Because they hate democracy. They're easily impressed by things that don't matter, like billionaires. FDR had a brain trust. It didn't consist of billionaires. It was philosophers, economists, educators, people who knew what they were doing. They weren't necessarily rich. They were just experts in these fields. And this is not a brain trust, for fuck's sake. This is a collection of oligarchs that are trying to steal and trying to destroy our country so they can more easily steal. So there's no pushback. There's nobody that's regulating them. No standards. No one to say, sorry, you can't put your boot on the neck of the working class. Oh, gee, I'm sorry. You can't treat people like shit. I'm sorry. In this shining city on a hill, we take care of each other. We actually expect a dignified retirement. You fucking sociopaths. You're a rocket scientist? Well, fuck off to Mars, please. Do us all a favor and fuck off to Mars, because you're not an expert. You don't know shit about government agencies. You don't know shit about accounting or what's needed and what's not needed, and you don't know, and worse than that, you don't have any goddamn empathy. You don't have any humanity. That's right there is a disqualifier. Yes, that Mass Fort thing, my Tarabuster show at Mass Fort. I set up a bunch of proxy emails because I was getting attacked by maggots, believe it or not. That's what I'm saying, guys. I put up with a lot of shit I don't even tell you about, but you don't know. One day when we all get together, I will let you know some of the stories of what I've had to endure by maggots. I mean, they're not out there making the world safe for democracy. They're harassing me. You know what I mean? So they're doing things like that. So I had to, whatever. I don't want to give them any more ideas. Because they got empty heads and empty hearts, and they're, go do your own show. You don't like what I'm saying? Do your own show. Do a show about how you wish a billionaire would trickle on you and get some in your mouth after 40 years or so. Maybe if you just beg them more. Beg them for another 40 years. And maybe they'll trickle right in your face. Right? Maybe a whole bunch of them. They could all trickle in your face at once. Like all these guys, the rocket scientist, the guy from, what? Did he say Airbnb? Who cares? This has nothing to do with efficiency, government efficiency. What the fuck do you know about running a government agency? Because not all government agencies are there to make a profit. They're there to serve. So what's the arrogance of these people, the delusion is also as worse. I don't even know what's worse. Delusion or the arrogance. But the sycophancy, it's like a triple threat of grossness.
Our goal is to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion.
Why is that doing that? Oh, don't even tell me. I might have to play this off the screen. This is so weird.
This was beautiful. Rachel, you have
They are really
to kind of put our lives on
They
hold.
are really puckering up and sucking those billionaire asses.
They may characterize it as shooting from the hip, but it is anything but that.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
people
just
say
keep
this shouldn't
quiet.
take a rocket scientist. Steve Davis, you are a rocket scientist.
Used to be. That all of us are willing to kind of
Who
put our lives
cares?
on hold in order to do. I think the thing that's special right now is we actually believe there's a chance to succeed.
We really believe that the government can have an Apple Store-like experience. Beautifully.
Well, how do you get that, bitches? By firing half the staff. The Apple Store-like experience in our national parks now includes backed up toilets and a four-hour wait lines to get into the Grand Canyon. And then once you're in there, you're on your own, booby. There's no one to help you. There's no one to guide you. There's no one to rescue you if you get lost. These motherfuckers. But the maggots, the idiots that consume this shit, they're going to believe it for a while. But when their Social Security checks stop for the first time since FDR signed the bill, Social Security has never missed a payment. But that's going to end, just like the tradition of the peaceful transfer of power ended with these maggots. We had a almost unbroken chain for almost 250 years of the peaceful transfer of power, which was, when I was young, when I was a kid, I didn't understand how special that was, how out of the ordinary that was. And I remember watching presidents get sworn in and being like, and them boasting or mentioning the peaceful transfer of power, and I just didn't get it because I didn't have the life experience or the wisdom or the understanding or the knowledge. But not anymore. They took that from us too, just like they've taken any goodwill that we've garnered around the world by helping other countries, by being a beacon of light, by standing for goodness, justice. And I know there's a lot of hypocrisies in there too. I get it. But if you're living in a country that's a developing country, and we're out there vaccinating you or vaccinating communities, and this is what's going on, and now they've fucking stopped that because they're so small. Everything's a transact. They don't understand the bigger picture because they're babies. Just like I didn't understand how special it was that we had at one time an unbroken chain of the peaceful transfer of power. And now we'll have for the first time, Social Security recipients not getting their checks. So when the life experience of the maggots in their hovels and shitholes in these poorly run red states run as in direct contradiction to what they're hearing on Fox News, I wonder if then will they wake up? Will that wake them up then? I don't know. Maybe. When the lights go out, when they don't have any money, 40% or over, if I read that correctly or heard it. 40% of Social Security recipients, or is it more? Let me look this up. How many, let me see, how many Social Security recipients have as their only source of income in retirement? One quarter, okay. Approximately 1/4 of retirees rely solely on Social Security. Among Social Security beneficiaries, what the fuck? There's a stray hair again. Beneficiaries aged 65 or older, 12% of men and 15% of women depend on Social Security for more than 90% of their income. Additionally, some reports suggest that a smaller percentage, around 40%, may rely entirely on Social Security as their sole. Well, they're saying that 1/4 relies on it 90% for 90% of their income, and then 40% relies on it entirely. So that's a lot of people. I hate them. And it's just completely unconscionable. It's disgusting. That's who they are. These people are disgusting. These billionaires, fuck off. Let's grab back. Let's claw back these government contracts from these ghouls. Let's get that $500 million we gave that unelected South African sociopath for saving his company. Take that back. You know, and then nobody has to lose their job. Then we can hire whoever we want. When you call Social Security, they pick up on the first ring. And now the Social Security website keeps going down. People are on the phone. You know, they want you to, what? It's going to be like the Apple Store? I don't know about you. I don't have to drive fucking 100 miles to get to an Apple Store. These pricks. It's all gaslighting, everyone, because I want you to understand that everything that these monsters, and that's who they are, they're disgusting psychopaths who don't give a shit about this country. Elon Musk is a Nazi. He's a greed-centered Nazi, and certainly one that has no problem. You think he loses any sleep about the people he fires? That's all he does, this guy. And I've written an article, we've talked about it before. He's a grifter. He's a filthy grifter. He's not a genius. He's just a sociopath. And all he does is get into companies and fire people. That's why his shitty cars blow up. That's why the stupid Cybertruck has been recalled. What is it? 8 times in, what was it? In 16 months, yeah. Once every 2 months, there's been a recall of that ugly piece of shit. And the Cybertruck, is it Tesla itself, blows up more than the Pinto did. Let me make sure I have that stat right. I know it's something blows up. It's either the Cybertruck or the Tesla blows up more than the Pinto. It's a Cybertruck. There's a higher fatality rate, too.
Designed, great user experience, modern systems.
This is beautiful.
Sounds great.
You know, Rachel, you have
Sounds
multiple
fucking
kids, so you know the
dreamy.
boogeyman theory. They think something is
We're
under
all
their bed,
just
and they think it's very,
boogeyman,
and then you pull it out of the bed, and it's just a little toy.
Yeah, we're just children who we're afraid of the boogeyman under the bed, but then you pull it out and it's a toy. See? And daddy's daddy's not the boogeyman. It's just a toy under your bed. I fucking wish. This is not necessary. No one voted for this. They know this, but you hear how desperate Fox News is to get the dumb, because the majority of the Fox News viewer, the demographic of the Fox News viewer is over 65. They're on Social Security. They're on Medicare. They're getting these morons to be like, sure, I love Elon Musk. Wait till their reality doesn't match what's happening on Fox News. All the cheery talk about Apple Store experience. I wish. You know how you have an Apple Store experience? You hire people. You don't close down. You don't close down offices. You don't fucking fire people and then dance around like a goddamn baboon. Oh, yeah, that's your Apple Store experience? I never saw Steve Jobs firing people. Did you? I saw, stores opening. I didn't see him getting out a chainsaw and dancing around like a goddamn ape. Like a jumping jack asshole. Bureaucracy!
Who else is here?
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
Thank you.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw! Chainsaw! All this gold at Fort Knox, it's the public's gold. It's your gold. So, like...
Bureaucracy! Oh, I hate him. Look at him. Look at him. I'm making an X. Where? I can't get him. I gotta grab him. He's too big. Why can't I make it smaller? Takes forever. Look at that dumb bastard. He's making an X, everybody. Look, he made an X with himself. He made an X. He loves the X. He loves that letter X. Wee. 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 Oh, God help us. God help us. Come on with this beach ball. Now I got a beach ball. Now I got another beach ball.
Here we go. Elon Musk sat.
Here, let's go
I
a
think.
little.
What do you mean there's a mind? They thought it was like
that lady?
a symbol for something else. No, it's a literal mind. There's so much paperwork. Our government.
They're lying their asses off, and it's all, we're all just confused, everybody. We don't see what we see with our own beautiful eyes. We just, we don't know what's good for us because we're children. And Elon Musk, you know, there's a guy from Airbnb who made a lot of money. And there's a guy who's a literal rocket scientist. Can you believe it? And we're so lucky because our fellow Americans were such dumbasses. They were so stupid. All the people that were working there, they just waste, fraud, and abuse. Right? All that waste, fraud, and abuse that allowed those fellow Americans to serve their communities and their fellow Americans and put food on the table for themselves and their family. All that waste, fraud, and abuse that came from not having somebody to unclog the toilet at Yosemite National Park. All that waste, fraud, and abuse. All those park rangers and educators there. Who needs education? You should be working, you fucking loser. Who needs to do you want to take your kids to the national park? Go die. Go die. Go fucking work. There's food rotting in the fields. Right? Well, you want to take your kid to Yosemite? You want to go to Grand Canyon? No more. No vacation. I mean, America, we're dumb as fuck here. We're so stupid. We're the only country on earth that has no guaranteed vacation time. That's it, really. Oh, yeah, that's how stupid we are. But we're so lazy, you see. If only that South Africa, thank God that South African came here to teach us the dignity of work by firing us and telling us how useless we are and everything we did up to now. I mean, how did we do? How did we dress ourselves in the morning before he got here? I don't understand. How did all those Social Security checks get into people's bank accounts so they could live before the South African sociopath got here? How? I don't know how did we, I'm sure, I don't know. I don't know how we lived before he got here. How did things happen? We were like Mr. Magoo, I guess, is avoiding all the pitfalls. But thank God we have Fox News to talk us off the ledge. Because like that song, the Billionaire, Elon Musk, thank you, Elon Musk song, he's got a plan for us. And we should just get out of the way. You know, because that's freedom. That's freedom. That's what the founders fought a revolution to entrust to us. We take orders from the rich. And you don't have anything to say about it. Don't worry about it. Don't waste your beautiful mind thinking about what you want to do with your life. You know, don't waste your beautiful mind on what? Go and get a job picking, I don't know, oranges. Clearly something's happened in Florida. All their deportations there are crops rotting in the field and no one there to pick them. That's why Republicans want to send children into the fields. I just can't believe how fast. Well, I mean, that's the plan. We knew it was happening. But I can't believe how stupid people are. And these fucking the three see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil morons on Fox News. But how do they look at themselves in the mirror? Do they believe this? Because they keep repeating the lies. I know we're running out of time. We don't have all the time to play it. But they go on about how Stacey Abrams was money laundering. And, of course, it's a filthy lie. And how, he found all of these, there were Social Security recipients that were 150 years old, all the abuse. And we know that's another lie. That I had a list of all the fucking lies. Hold on.
Bought a mine and they're doing everything by hand. And to your point, far from
we were stupid. We were doing everything by hand. And we had computers that were so old because, well, the Republicans wouldn't put any money into government. This is a democracy, and these fucking maggots kept saying, I'm from the government. My 9 most terrifying words are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. So Republicans don't do shit to help the American people have an effective government that when you call, they pick up on the first ring. You want to call Social Security? They should pick right up. I'm here to help. Can I help you? That's what a functioning society looks like. And then, the IRS, same thing. What they're doing is making it easier for the rich to avoid paying taxes and making it worse.
Away. Wow. These guys are giving our money back. I mean, Brian, we're up on.
No, they're not.
We're really close to.
Why is it doing that? It's weird.
Almost half of my money. When I saw what was going on, the amount of waste, the things that they said, they're finding $1 billion here, $1 billion there.
Prove it. Prove it. Look at all the waste, fraud, and abuse they're finding. $1 million here, $1 billion there. Yeah, I know, it's choppy. It's not playing for some reason smoothly. $1 billion here, $1 billion there. They're just full of shit. Prove it. Prove it. If this were legitimate, why is everything in the dark? Why can't we see it? Why isn't there congressional approval? Why isn't there a paper trail? I found abuse here. I found abuse there. I found waste, fraud, and abuse up your ass. Oh, Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, says the unelected South African sociopath. But Elon Musk is a Ponzi scheme. Fucking the fake Department of Gazillionaire Extortion and Embezzlement. That's a Ponzi scheme. Why don't the Democrats say shit like that? No, Elon Musk's fake Department of Gazillionaire Embezzlement. That's a Ponzi scheme. And we could see it. Right in front of our faces. Oh, but he's got a real life rocket scientist. Aren't you impressed? But I thought that those elitists, I guess he doesn't eat arugula. Right? All of these big university people. Well, this is that. I hear the music. Whatever. The show's basically over. It'll be over in a minute. But I got a little more. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. We will win. I want you to do a few things for me, though, so we can win. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. I would like you to subscribe to my Substack at the Political Voices channel, network, or whatever. It's all in the description. I would like you to also, what else? I don't know, tell your friends, become a being a patron would be amazing. $2 a month? Come on. What do I ask? Do I ask for much? I don't ask for much, people. Except to become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. All right. I'm trying here. I'm doing my best to spread the word. All right. I want to play another thing. Hopefully it won't be as choppy. This fucking thing. Let me close this. Maybe that'll help. It looks like I don't know. It might be time for a new computer again. You know how it goes. Listen to this.
Mr. Garcia from California has stated over and over again in all of his interviews that he isn't going to work with Republicans to save the American people money that has been spent to the point where we're $36 trillion in debt. No, he says that he's going to resist and he's going to fight me, President Trump and Elon Musk, on our Doge committee and going forward this entire Congress.
I admire your restraint because one of the people you had to sit there and listen to today, Democrat, obviously, Jasmine Crockett.
I don't understand if you are trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is. I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. Yeah. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits.
One of the people that Elon...
What a kooky thing to say. You mean to get people who are experts in that field to do that? Not some sociopath, parasite, psychopath who dances around like a baboon when he fires people and makes everything worse. I mean, if they're actually doing good, why does everything suck all of the sudden? Why is everything worse if everything's so good? We want that Apple Store experience. Just like that shining city on a hill. Guess what? We could get there. Get the F out of the way, Republicans. Stop attacking our goddamn society, the civilization, the government that the founders fought a revolution to create and entrust to us. Stop attacking it. Stop trying to make it into an autocracy. Stop trying to make it as small as you are, as small as your petty, tiny ineptitude, your childishness, your morality. I mean, your small intelligence, your small-minded bigotry. Stop trying to make it small, like you. We can have a government. See, they've been, and that's what I'm talking about, because for how many years have we heard this shit? Government's bad, government sucks, small government, small. Even the fucking Democrats echo that shit. When it's not true. It's never been true. Oh, you don't want to pay taxes, do you? Well, it's not the working class. When Trump and the Republicans are talking about lowering taxes, you're not getting a goddamn tax break, you stupids. You don't get shit. You're the ones being used as hosts from which to suck profit. I'm trying to wake you up you're in the Matrix, you morons. Take the red pill or the blue pill, whatever pill. Take the pill that wakes you up. They're gaslighting you. You're being suckered. We can have a shining city on a hill. Not that people are perfect, That's why you have auditors and those who investigate things like Medicare fraud. They're the ones who are tasked to do the job. They find it. They root it out. But for real. But they don't do it by destroying the entire system. You fucking baboons. I can't take them. That's what they are. It's like they go into some place because they're so small and they're so incompetent They take things that people built for generations and they fucking just destroy it. Because it's so easy to destroy. It's so much easier to destroy than to build. And they never build. Republicans never build a goddamn thing. All they're good at is destroying and pointing and going, you didn't do this way. But we need a tax break, right? Everything's a tax cut. Even that stupid Obama, when he, what the hell, with the American Rescue Plan, I had Republican input. You know what the Republican input was in the American Rescue Plan? Tax breaks for the rich. More tax breaks. That's all they got. They're one-trick ponies. Tax breaks, deregulation. Why Obama put it in there is another thing that makes me want to bang my head against. So, well, you know why? Not like, like FDR. If you look at the difference, FDR rescued this country from the first Republican Great Depression, and then he never missed the opportunity to remind the American people who had put them in that predicament in the first place and had done absolutely nothing to get them out of it. Laissez-faire, that was their policy. Leave it alone. Don't worry. Who cares? The bread lines, the starvation, the malnutrition, the hyperthermia, the people who have no jobs, the suicide rates going through the roof. Laissez-faire. Leave it alone. It'll work out. Scum. That's who they are. It'll work out because the market, it goes through these cycles, you see. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but it doesn't matter because it's just the little people, the powerless, the politically unconnected who die and suffer and struggle. So you could leave them in the streets. Fuck them. Let them eat cake. Let them eat hate. That's the new Republican mantra. Laissez-faire. Let them eat hate. But the FDR never missed the opportunity to tell the American people that it was the Republicans that put them in the Depression and then stood by and did shit about it. He didn't invite them in and say team of rivals and say bipartisan. It's all bipartisan, people. And granted, he had an overwhelming majority because the American people had suffered enough. But maybe that's where we're going to have to go. I hate to say it, and I really don't want to live through it. But I hope these red states get what's coming to them. They're already struggling. And I know that the filthy fascist, the con man, the convicted felon, and his unelected South African sociopath, they're saying, they're going to withhold federal funds from states that don't do what they want. Well, I want my blue state dollars withheld from these poorly run red states until they learn how to take care of themselves, learn how to wash yourselves or whatever, put your garbage in the trash can. Don't just throw it out the window. I want you to, why should I give you my hard-earned tax dollars when you don't know how to behave? You don't know how to, brush your teeth every now and then. Or your tooth. Right? Stop voting for your own goddamn demise. And then whining. Without even the manners, the maturity, the decency to say thank you. That's what pisses me off about it the most. I don't mind helping somebody, but at least say thanks. Don't spit in my face and call me New York values or Democrat Party. These fuckers can't even say the name of the Democratic Party, but that's the Democratic Party's fault. Right? For real. Never pushing back on that either. Democrat Party. They go on. And the Democrats just sit there like beaten dogs. Yeah. Blue states should, exactly, Redfoot, withhold the funds. And then they want to turn this country into an authoritarian state. I don't know. I think that the blue states should go to Canada and say, hey, how about you take us into your fold? We could be Canadians, that's for sure. We could do it. And I mean, I would think Canada would love to have California, at least. California, the 5th largest economy in the world. New York, the greatest city on earth, the Manhattan, right? No one is dreaming to see the moon over the meth lab in Mitch McConnell's district, that's for sure. They dream to go to California, to go to New York, to go to blue states. Yeah, I doubt Canada wants the Yanks exactly, Jim. Yeah. Probably not at this point, but no, they might understand that we're not like them. I don't want to live in an autocracy. I don't want to live under this baboon, this unfit convicted felon, con man, that these stupids inflicted on us because they wanted to hurt their fellow Americans. Well, I hope they get what's coming. And it ain't a trip to Disneyland. Unfortunately, good people are going to be hurt too. That's the problem. But I guess at this point it's unavoidable. Until we get the house back, in the very least, and everything else. I know that the monster is afraid. That's why he pulled Elise Stefanik's, the dead-eyed Elise Stefanik's ambassador to the UN. Like that dead-eyed dumb bitch. How much more damage can the world take? You know, I mean, everywhere they go, they destroy. We're never going to dig out of this, and if we, you know, like, how are we going to get our reputations back unless we say, hey, Canada, can you give us a hand here? But listen, the reason I'm playing this clip will be clear in a second.
Musk is hired to do these audits, literally wrote an AI program to decode the scrolls of Pompeii.
Did you hear that? I know, it keeps freezing, the videos.
To do these audits.
See,
one of the people that Elon Musk has hired to do these audits literally wrote an AI program to decode the scrolls of Pompeii that no one else was able to do. I'd say he's qualified to do an audit.
Really? So somebody that does one thing is automatically qualified to do another? Because he wrote a program to decode the scrolls of Pompeii, and that's not even true, by the way. This was a child. Because I looked it up, because they're just fucking liars. And this child was on a team that was tasked with, you know, it's not even the scrolls of Pompeii. They get that wrong, too. It was the Herculaneum scrolls that, so they're just dumbasses. It doesn't matter. You know, I mean, pesky facts. Even in the littlest form. The scrolls of Pompeii. Well, describe what are the scrolls of Pompeii? When they're the scrolls of Herculaneum, but whatever. He was a 23-year-old that was involved in a big team of people. I mean, as a student. So he's not the fucking guy that decoded the scrolls of Pompeii that are actually the scrolls of Herculaneum. He's somebody that worked with a lot of people on this team writing AI, and we don't know what part of it he played. He could have been the guy that got the coffee, the intern. So, besides the point, doesn't make him qualified. It's a 23-year-old fucking douchebag. Unbelievable. It says his name is Luke Farrator, 23 years old, reportedly contributed to AI applications, but it was a challenge that this Vesuvius, it was, set out to the world, the Vesuvius challenge. He worked on the Herculaneum scrolls. Not by himself, though. It's not like just him. It was a team of people that worked on it. So, but, whatever. Whatever. It's in a contest. In any case, it doesn't make him a expert on the government, on what to do about Social Security, when there's only one thing to do. If you want to fix Social Security, you raise the cap and you make everybody pay taxes at the same rate, and you hire people. You don't close down offices. You make you expand Social Security. You give people a raise, like Joe Biden did before he walked out the door. He gave Social Security a raise. He undid the whole... I wonder if Trump rolled that back yet, though. Because Joe Biden, of course, because the Republicans always fuck the American people. They hate you. They hate working people. And I have to write an article on that and list the ways. But, I think I did, actually, write some... Anyway, I'm getting confused. Did I write it and post it, or... Because it never ends. I should probably add an addendum to it. But because Reagan fucked the American people. So if you had a pension and, like when you went to the post office, if you worked for the post office and you got a pension from the post office, Reagan made it impossible, or made it illegal for you to also collect Social Security, even though you had been contributing to it. And he called that double dipping. No double dipping for you, dumb fucking working asshole. And Joe Biden did away with that. And so if you were a government worker at one time, you got a raise in your Social Security. And that's good, because you know what? When people who are working, just not a billionaire, if you work for a living and you get a raise, it goes back into the economy. It helps your neighborhood. It helps your local businesses, because you're spending it. You're not keeping it in a bank account so you can, I don't know, jump like a jumping jack asshole and say, let's go to Mars, while fucking buying a social media site so you can uncork the spigot of Nazis eager to poison the empty brains of maggots who are consuming that shit without any, not just sense of self-respect, but any kind of fucking intelligence. I don't know. They don't, like, I read things, I don't just take it as gospel just because I agree with it. I double check it and try to validate it, because that's what you got to do nowadays. They don't do that. They just look shit up. They go on Fox News and they hear, what are you talking about? Don't you know that, what's her face? Stacey Abrams. See, according to them, Elon Musk found that Stacey Abrams was money laundering. Did you know that? It's fucking bullshit, because she had $100 in her bank account. Then she had $1 billion. But it's all just bullshit. Bullshit. Prove it. Prove it. Of course, there's no proof. We don't see anything. They just lie about people, make it unsafe for them, make it hostile for them. But, let me see. New York Times had a list of all the lies. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme, as we know. Let's see. Yeah, he said that immigrants are getting Social Security. The main reason is that entitlement fraud. Entitlements for illegal aliens serving as a gigantic magnetic force. All of this is lies that the Republicans peddle. Of course, unauthorized immigrants are not eligible for federal benefits. There's no evidence. In fact, they put into the Social Security Trust Fund, but they don't receive benefits out. They don't get to draw from those benefits. But the maggots and Elon Musk, who is not a genius, who's a stupid person and a sociopath, he lies. He just lies. And if you're working for the good of the country, why do you gotta lie? Why do you have to lie so much? Why? And then, for him to call Mark Kelly a traitor because he went to Ukraine, a Democratic ally that we have a security agreement with, that the maggots wiped their ass with, of once again ruining our good name for generations. And this monstrosity, Elon Musk says, because Brett Baer asked him about it, why you called Mark Kelly a traitor, and he had, let me see if I can play it, because it really pissed me off, and then we'll wrap it up, because it's late for JD. He's in England. It's like almost 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning there. For God's sakes. Move this over here.
Should care about the.
Listen to this
sometimes
shit.
You say stuff or post stuff that gets attention. You give it out, in other words. Democratic Arizona Senator Mark Kelly posted on X about his trip to Ukraine to push for continuing to send U.S. weapons and support there, and you posted that he was a traitor. Well, why do that?
Well, I think somebody should care about the interests of the United States above the interests of another country.
Really?
If they don't, they're a traitor.
Yeah, but
if they don't, they're a traitor. He should care about the interests of the United States and not the interests of another country. If they don't, they're a traitor. You're not even a natural-born citizen, you sociopath. You're a traitor. Mark Kelly has served this country. What have you ever done except glibly and gleefully fire Americans and cut their lifelines, you fucking traitor? You goddamn... Oh, God. This is infuriating to me. Mark Kelly wore the uniform of this country. He served this country, and this South African sociopath has the nerve to call him a traitor and then double down on it on the Swill channel. Right? And then you hear how delicate Brett Baer was talking to him. Never had the same, tone with Harris.
Is now supporting this person. If he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States, why is that happening?
This is an election for President of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
It's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is
God,
it?
I would never say that.
It's not 50% either. Go fuck yourself.
Enemy within, talking about the American people.
This heartbreaking.
Suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall.
Oh, please.
It's a terrible thing. So
it's a terrible thing.
The country is now supporting this person who could be.
Oh, my God.
Suggesting he would turn the American military on the American. Repeated.
Think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within, that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
He was asked about that specific.
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you,
that's the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me...
Shame on everyone who voted for him, you know? Mark Milley said that, and General Kelly also said that Trump is fascist to the core and has a fundamental disdain for American values. So hey, listen to the difference, though, the way he talks to Musk.
But sometimes you say stuff or post stuff that gets attention. You give it out, in other words.
You give it out, right? Just like Trump. When they hit you, you hit back 10 times harder. You give it out. You're giving it out. You know, you say something, it may not. Somebody might not like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I love it. I love it, Master. Tell me your plan for my life, Master.
Senator Mark Kelly posted on X about his trip to Ukraine to push for...
whatever.
Should care about the interests of the United States.
They don't give a shit about the interests of the United States. How can you say you have the interest of the United States, you unelected South African sociopath, when you're hurting people? You're disrupting their lives. And then you're dancing around like, with a chainsaw. Like the fucking sociopath you are. Shame on everybody. Shame on everyone who voted for this. I hope it doesn't hurt too little for you, but the rest of us, we didn't deserve this. 50% of the country voted for this. No, 50% of the people who turned out on election day voted for this. Yep. 0-0 go van. It's the reaping season. It's the find out part. All right. A different bias? What's that, JD? Is that a show? A different bias. Oh, I will, I'll check it out, JD. Looks good. And if Mike is still here, happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Mike. Happy birthday, dear Mike. Happy birthday, dear Mike Crawford. Happy... That's the wrong one. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mike on the chat. What do you think of that? That's a very lazy rhyme, I know. I ain't no Eminem, but I will be back again on another show, another day. More shit to say. I'm just dropping beats and dropping whatever the hell you drop. And I'm gonna take it around the block. And I'm gonna tell these mother effers that we ain't gonna stand for it anymore. Tomorrow, we'll all be gathering at Tesla's door, and we're gonna give it to them. But don't, peacefully, legally, peacefully. No vandalism. Haven't you seen that they're showing the same clips of Teslas on fire because they got nothing? They got nothing. Same shit, different day. It's all bullshit. Trying to turn people against the very solutions they need. But in the meantime, we still get birthdays. We still have to say, happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Mike. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Happy birthday, Mike. Yeah. And Boudica is cute. Let's wake her up. She's cute. All right. I'll see you Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Political Voices Network for the Tara Show with myself and Tara Dublin. And I hope you like that show. I like it. It's good. And if we're more successful, we'll have more shows, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, if it's your birthday or not. Thank you, everybody, for all you do to keep the show going and growing. And stay safe, stay happy, in spite of the bastards. Stay together. We will win, we will. Fascism never ends well. And I think Elon Musk is going to have a reckoning. It has to happen. It has to happen quickly. That great getting up morning has got to be right around the corner. Stay safe, stay strong. We will win. My name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Give the show a good review on iTunes. Do everything you gotta do. I know it's a lot. I ask a lot. And you know why? Because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. I hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself, everybody. I love you. I love you. Now I gotta go get unconscious. It's my favorite place to be. There's no Republicans there. It's me. Flying and jumping and running. It's just me. Running and flying and having all kinds of superpowers. All right, my friends. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you on Tuesday afternoon at the Political Voices Network with the my friend Tara Devlin for the Tara Show. I'll see you very soon. And thank you guys. Thank you, Redford. Thank you, Jim, for your moderating the chat room. It means a lot, and I can't do it without you. And happy birthday again, Mike. And thanks, everybody. Thank you, JD, for your super chat. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Ed and Jim, for your super chats. We stick together. We win. I'll see you soon.